audience. And the evaluator for Amjad is Tom. Can you please read out loud the objective of project number 10?
Hi everybody, especially Amjad. So now you have curve nose, right? I should learn about it. But I want to ask you, how do you have a curve nose? I want to have same one. You need to practice every day. So project number 10, inspire your audience. To inspire the audience by appealing to noble motives and challenging to the audience to achieve the higher level of beliefs or achievement. Appeal to the audience needs and emotion using stories and quotes to add drama. Avoid using notes. You have from 8 to 10 minutes. Good luck.
Thank you, Luke, and thank you, Tom. Hello, toastmasters, distinguished guests. Today I am going to tell you a story. A story about a lion and a mouse. A story that you would have heard, a story that you would have told. But, the story that I am going to tell you today is not different, it is the same. But I have adapted it a bit for the grown-ups. Our life is a big story, and every day a story happens. And if we are able to find out the meaning of these stories and the deeper meaning of these stories, we will live a more meaningful life. We will live a more fulfilling life. So are you ready for the adventure?
Yes.
Okay. Once upon a time, in a dense green forest, there lived a mighty lion. And on one lazy afternoon, as he was sleeping in his cool, dark cave, a tiny little mouse comes jumping, happily singing, dancing, not knowing that he was about to face the most challenging time of his life. And bump! He bumps right onto the nose. Onto the nose of this sleeping giant, and this wakes the lion up. And he is very angry, and he grabs the mouse by the tail, and he says, "Oh, you tiny little mouse, you have woken me up, and I am angry. I am very, very angry." Friends, ladies and gentlemen, are you aware of what is anger? If you are not aware of what is anger, you will not be able to control your anger. And if you are not able to control your anger, anger is going to control you. So friends, be aware of your emotions, whether it is anger or hatred or any other negative emotion. And when you see it coming, be like a watchman and say, "Oh, you are an enemy. You are not allowed to enter the holy city of my heart because you are an enemy." And this reminds me of a very interesting story of Remus and Romulus, who built the city of Rome. So when they were babies, twins, they were miraculously saved. And a she-wolf suckled them with her milk. And a woodpecker fed them. And when they grew strong, they decided to build this big city of Rome. And as it was being built, Remus jumps over one of the walls and says, "Romulus, what if your enemies jump over the wall like this?" And Romulus is sharpening his spear. He has a spear in his hands. And he says, "I will kill them like this." And he throws the spear. And the spear goes right through the heart of his beloved brother. and he dies on the spot, to the horror of his brother Romulus. Who killed Remus? It's true that Romulus killed Remus. But it is even more true that anger killed Remus. I am very angry, said the lion, and I am going to kill you. I am going to give you death as a punishment. The punishment of death is the most severe of all punishments. There are many states, many countries which have abolished the punishment of death. And those countries which still have the punishment of death have confined it to the rarest of the rare cases. To the rarest of the rare. But friends, every one of us has to die. One day, each one of us in this room, outside this room, has to taste the taste of death. What is death? Is it a punishment? For some of us, death is the end. And for them, every second, every millisecond, every microsecond is meant to be enjoyed. We want to have fun. We don't want to waste any single moment, because after death, everything is gone. For many of us, death is a new beginning. So for those for whom death is a new beginning, they spend their lives preparing for a better beginning that will come after death. So lion says, I'm going to give you death as a punishment for what? For waking me up. But this tiny mouse was no ordinary mouse. He was courageous. And he was intelligent as well. So he said, "O Lord of the jungle, O King of all animals, I am too small to satisfy your hunger. And I am too insignificant to be killed by a hero like you. But if you spare me, I can one day be of some help to you." That mouse, he's hanging by his tail. He doesn't know he's going to live or die. But he had the courage. We have to have the courage. In times of adversity, we have to show courage. And this king, well, he's a king, so he has a heart which is as big as a king. And he knows that this tiny little mouse, worthless mouse, he will never be able to help him. But he says, okay, I spare you, and this is a favor from me. But who is doing the favor? Who caused that tiny little mouse to come and bump onto the nose of that gigantic lion so that one day the mouse might be able to save his life? Is it by chance? Was it by chance? Or is everything in this world predestined according to a larger plan? 8 minutes, yeah? Already done.
10 minutes, right? 8 to 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
So is it that everything is according to a larger plan? I spare you. And the tiny little mouse runs away and he never crosses the path of that gigantic lion. Until many moons later, one night when everything is still, nothing is moving and the gentle breeze is blowing, and the moon is shining. The silence of the night is shattered by a tremendous roar. Everyone in the jungle knows that the lion, the king himself, is in trouble. And no one dares to go and help him. But this mouse, he has made a promise, and he was going to keep his promise. If you make a promise, my friends, you will be called to one day fulfill your promise. And with his tiny little legs, he hurries. He hurries to help his friend. And there in the moonlight, he sees this big giant, this lion standing. And he is trapped in a net of ropes made of very ordinary material. Very ordinary material. Rope is not made of gold or silver or diamonds. It is very ordinary material. And remember, my friends, sometimes the very ordinary can restrain and defeat the might and power of the powerful ones. Immediately our friend, the tiny mouse, goes to work. He nibbles away at the ropes and frees his friend. And the lion is free. And they live happily after that. What do we learn from this story, my friends? Every day, there are lots of stories happening in our lives. And every single story has the inspiration to change our life. We just have to look deeper and deeper into the meaning of these stories. And if we do that, our life is going to be more meaningful.